Welcome back to another episode of Teen Talk on channel 111.9. Today, we will be discussing chastity and relationships. Let's start, shall we? Let's start with relationships. They're very important to all of us, and I mean very important. They give us the chance to build new bridges and find people that we can rely on in times of need. It also just helps our mental health in a massive way. It lets us know that we have people that care about us, which we all need from time to time. Now, let's move on to sexuality in teens. According to Stats Canada, 1/10 of teens at the age of 15 have had sex already. That's really young and still a lot of people. Want to hear another quite scary fact from Stats Canada? 54% of Canadian teens aged 15 to 24 use condoms. That's low. That means that 46% of teens have such a high chance of obtaining a STD or STI, or even getting pregnant. Now, this sort of leads into my next one, because 6.3 females for every 1,000 that are aged 15 to 24 will have a baby. That may seem low, but it's a lot for this demographic. Now, this leads into my final stat. 31% of those births will be abortions, and 14% will result in a miscarriage. These stats are terrifying to hear and are honestly so bad for people our age to go through. Now let's move on to peer pressure, because this is a large issue in our day-to-day lives. Did you know that 1 in 3 boys aged 15 to 17 feel peer pressured into sex? And 23% of girls feel the same way. I can't believe that 28% of the teenagers around me feel forced by those around them to have sex. That's really upsetting to me. Now let's move on to sexuality and the church's view on intimacy. Now, the church isn't anti-sex or anything like that you may have heard in the media, but it's anti-premarital sex. Anti-sex that doesn't lead to children. Anti-sex that's not between two people that want sex. They believe that sex is meant for spouses. They believe that it's for pleasure and for married couples to create new life. The church is against teen sex in a way, though. They want to protect them from diseases and viruses that could hinder their sexual future with their spouses. Now let's move on to the church's view on chastity. Now, before I begin to discuss this, I think that we should define it, since it's often mistaken for abstinence. The definition of abstinence is choosing not to engage in a certain behavior, or not giving into a desire or appetite. The definition of chastity is a quality held by someone pure, modest, or celibate. A virgin is an example of chastity. Faithful married couples are also examples of chastity. The main difference between chastity and abstinence is that chastity allows sexual relationships between husband and wife, but abstinence involves refraining from any form of sexual activity, even with a spouse. Now, the church fully supports chastity and believes in it, but they aren't fully with abstinence. Not at all, really. Since it blocks reproduction, they are against it as it goes against their beliefs. Now, to wrap everything up, I wanted to share a quote from a teen mom, Alicia Bowens. I hope that teen moms realize that their path to success still exists, and the only way to achieve it is to make the decisions to go after it. Now, I really love this quote because a lot of teen moms believe that their life is over now that they have a baby. But it's not. It's just going to play out how you treat it. Well, that wraps up everything for today's Teen Talk. I hope to see you all next week. This is Christian Betancourt from channel 111.9. Bye!